the high-level plenary meeting of the General Assembly to commemorate the 30th anniversary of the World Programme of Action for Youth is called to order. Heads of state and government, ministers, excellencies, distinguished delegates, distinguished participants, dear young leaders from all around the world, I warmly welcome all of you to this high-level plenary meeting held in accordance with Resolution 79/289 of May 27, 2025 on the overall theme, World Programme of Action for Youth at 30, Accelerating Global Progress Through Intergenerational Collaboration. Allow me now to make a statement as the President of the General Assembly. On Sunday morning, just before the high-level week started, I had the pleasure of joining some young leaders on a youth run. At first, frankly speaking, I was a bit worried about keeping up the pace, but obviously I made it. And the great thing of the run in the Central Park was that with young people, they put things so candidly and starkly that would take hours in a conference room. Like Hannah Mulugugeta, a 28-year-old youth advocate from Ethiopia, and she's probably with us somewhere in the room, who told me how frustrating it is for her as an experienced professional to always be called to be too young when there is representation around youth, peace talk tables or about economy, but old enough to be called in to fight a war when war breaks out. Then it's the 18-year-old, the 20-year-old who are called in first. Or how Sakira Soli, a 25-year-old from Afghanistan, framed it when she was asked, what is the UN about? It didn't take her 30 minutes of speech, it was just one word, hope. Because she experienced what hope really means. As a girl living in Kandahar village, to attend school, to try to make her country better, but then when the Taliban took over again, seeing that everything she has worked for has been destroyed just within a couple of days and weeks. She had the chance to leave her country, but she had to leave her school, her family, her friends, all the chances of future behind. So let us remember all about this week, but also in the future again. If hope is not just a word, but the promise for girls and young people like Sakira in the darkest moments of their life, that we work every day to deliver hope. Because so many young people across the world see the streaming blue flag of our United Nations as exactly this, the promise to deliver a better future, a freer future, a future still holds true. And this is the purpose of these United Nations, to lift up the voices of those too often overlooked, to deliver for them. And this is why we are here today, at the first ever UN General Assembly high-level meeting on youth. Using the frank and honesty from the youth from Sunday morning again, I think one has to admit that it's hard to believe that it's really the first meeting of this kind, while almost half the world's population is under 30. And I have no doubt that if more young people had been in conversations like these, part of their delegations and voting on resolutions, we might have had such a meeting already years ago. Or to put it again, candid as the runners on Sunday, you cannot continue discussing our future without us, the future. How would it be fair to talk about their futures without having young people, the future, at the table? But I would like to underline that youth participation is not just about bringing young people to meetings. We are not here to check another box. It's about truly integrating their life experience and their expertise to shape policy outcomes. Who better can be that advocate for the future than young people living the challenges to talk about the future today? They are the ones who can tell us vividly what it's like to face nearly inaccessible job markets. Just imagine finally graduating, earning a well degree, and then facing unemployment rates of up to 60 or even 70%. And armed groups luring you with lucrative recruitment offers, and you cannot find a proper job over and over again. Or what it's like to face the threats lurking on social media and online forums, the bullying, the hate, the sexual abuse. Cyberbullying has turned the digital sphere into a place of anonymous and viral harassment that can destroy reputations and lives overnight. And some school children cannot escape it anymore. There was bullying in the past as well, but when the school ended, they went home and played with their friends. Now they have the social devices even at night with them. And for them, bullying never stops. And we also see that there's a big divide with regard to deepfakes, especially those of sexual nature. We see that especially targeting women is growing on social media. 1 in 8 young people aged 13 to 20 personally know someone who has been targeted by deepfake nude imagery. In these cases, and indeed in all aspects of our human experience, you cannot speak about our world, these realities, without those experiences. But the opposite is also true, on social media especially. The young generation, the young people, are the ones who are the experts. They are the gamers who do not only program games, but also could find solutions for drones and how to use them. They are the ones starting careers at 16, 17 online as influencers or content creators. They are the ones who are shaping our digital world. President Zelyanovska-Davkova, President Baerbock, Undersecretary General Ryder, Excellencies, youth leaders, ladies and gentlemen. As the Secretary General often reminds us, youth are the designers of their future. But they shouldn't have to do it alone. And I'm proud that we are joined today by youth advisors, leaders and activists who are advocating for policies and sustainability, community development, disability rights, health and climate action. Young people are not waiting for tomorrow to become leaders, they are today's leaders. Their work has led to policy changes at the highest level. Just remember, 6 years ago, 27 students from the Pacific called upon the International Court of Justice to take on issues of climate change, standing up not only for themselves, but for future generations. Many around the world, I would guess even in this room today, thought, well, nice try. But 2 years ago, members of the General Assembly heard these calls and adopted a resolution requesting an advisory opinion. And then in July this year, the International Court of Justice issued its landmark advisory opinion on states' climate obligations. 27 young people out of billions. 6 years and a single vision that changed global climate policy. This is the power of youth. This is the power of hope. While world leaders ignore their climate responsibilities or even deny climate change altogether, youth are mobilizing climate action and filling the gap. They are daring us, inspiring us. They make the world better. This year's 80th session of the General Assembly offers opportunity to use this power, to reform our institution, to deliver on generations, to work together, to make our institutions stronger, more meaningful, inclusive, and effective. And this is the work we have to do right now, not only within the UN80 process, but also to deliver on the Pact for the Future, to invest and promote engagement by young people to secure a better future for all. And in the Declaration on Future Generations, to include the interest of future generations in all decision making. This is not only a question of youth, but this is an intergenerational solidarity. This is what we decided upon in the Pact for the Future. And this means also in UNAIDS process, but also in the selection of the next Secretary General to lead this organization, to include these voices. And if I may end on a personal note with some consolidated advice to the young people in the room, even though I'm not so much older than some of the young people in the room. When I started my career myself in politics in Germany, I was often also the youngest, especially the youngest female, and also having 2 little kids. And I know how it sounds when you hear the sentence, well, you're quite young. It's not only always a compliment. But always remember when you hear this phrase, even if it's put in condescending tone, then you're really on the right path, because you're not only being noticed, but obviously you can influence something. So take this sentence with pride, build on your experiences you lived already through, because you know that you have contributions which are making this world a better place. In this regard, I'm honored to be with you and share the first meeting we had on youth participation and at the Youth Summit, because we can shape this future together, like 27 young people who brought it to an international court, like Hannah and Sakira, who believe in our institutions. They know you're the agents of recharting our strengths, so build on that, be better together. I thank you.